going on, you guys? Welcome to today's video. So very exciting news. The bodywork on the Zender bumper for the Wagon has begun. I'll put a few photos on the screen here so you can see it, but it's looking awesome, which means that'll be done very soon, and all the rest of the pieces that need paint will have to go to the body shop. Now all the pieces are ready minus the rear lip. Now the rear lip is new old stock, nothing wrong with it, but if you look, our Remus sits right here under the Vortex lip, where this lip is 4 inches deep, this one's about 5.5. So currently I can't even fit this lip on the car because there's no cutout for the exhaust lip. Now there is a line down here where you can cut out an exhaust, but looking at where it lines up with the car, I'm gonna have to probably cut some of this section over here out to fit this, which I don't know if I want to do. Also, having the lip under the car now, this side is pretty much lined up directly where this one is, maybe off by a little bit, but for the most part that is lined up to where it's on the car. Coming to this side, it seems much wider. So I'm way out here now. I got about an inch or so of gap between where this is sitting to where it should be on the car. So before I do anything with cutting the Zender lip, I'm gonna pull the Vortex one off, flip it upside down, set it directly on top of this one, make sure all the measurements are the same. That way we know for a fact whether it's gonna fit or it's not. Then I can go through and decide whether I want to cut this one up or not. I would like to have the entire Zender kit on the car, but I don't know how it's gonna look. I have to cut like over here. It might not be that bad once it's actually like, you know, laid out properly, because we'll have to see. If it's over inside this gap, it'd be perfect, but it looks like it's gonna be more on this side just a little bit. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and tape off on the Vortex for lip so I can see exactly where the muffler tips are sitting, and then do the same thing down here and just measure it all out and make sure we're not gonna be too far this way or too far that way, and just see if I'm gonna like where I'm gonna have to cut if I do decide to run the slip, which again I would like to, but if it's gonna be way over here, look kind of we'll see. Vortex rear lip is off of the car. Hopefully that one matches that one. It looks super off on the ground, but I have high hopes for this, that it's the right size and it was labeled properly. Yeah. All good things. Yeah, that's good. All right. Yeah, we're good. We're fine. Look at that. Matched up. All of this matched up. Bam. So, good to go. On the ground, I thought I had these lined up. It looked like it was like 2 inches too wide, but we're good. Completely identical. So now I have to decide if I want to cut this one over here. You can see there's a nice little line there for where the exhaust would go, but it stops here. Now on that one, the edge piece here, you can see the cutout here starts much sooner than this one. You can see the exhaust tips are right there and right there. So more than likely it'd be close. I don't know. Either a little bit of this will have to go, or it might just be perfect. I don't think I can shift the muffler over at all. I think it's pretty much, oh no. Okay, we got a little bit of wiggle room. Not a lot, but maybe enough that if we just follow our standard cutout and stop here, not make any modification to this, it'll fit. That would be ideal. So looking from this angle, you can see right there where the Remus is touching this lip, but you can see the top one, which is the outer one, is like right in line with this. But again, that movement I have with the exhaust, I might be move it over to the right just enough to fit into here. You can see where the line begins down there, and you cut up and cut over. So it starts like right here on this little piece there. You're gonna cut up and around and then down. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna use to cut this properly, but of course I want to go through, cut this, do all the work before it goes to paint. So gotta decide if we're gonna chop it up or not. All right, we are back. It is a new day. It is actually the final day of the year. By the time you guys watch this video, it'll be 2023. 2022 is over. Craziness. This year went by so fast. Yeah, just this year was this year. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, but hey, we're still here, we're still doing our thing, so it is what it is. But decided we're cutting this up. Now I wanted to do this yesterday, but I didn't have any blades, which I actually got a new one right over here. Very fine tooth blade down in there. Now, is a Sawzall the best tool to use to cut this? Maybe, maybe not, but I have high hopes and I think it's gonna look good on the car, so start cutting. All right, good old Sawzall, ready to do some work. If you actually see, I started cutting yesterday with this. I was like, you know what? I don't have anything else to cut with, but we'll try it. And it actually worked decently. This is fiberglass, so it's not the hardest thing ever, but obviously this isn't the best tool to be cutting through in any body work, this is probably not the tool, but it was working. So the plan is I'm gonna cut a few different strips up like this to this line here, and then I'll be able to go across the entire thing, sand it all smooth, make it look nice, and hopefully that's enough to fit around the exhaust tips. I'm planning on stopping it. Actually, the closest this lip has ever been to actually being on the car. I have to go through and cut about a ½ inch more of the top section here and a little bit more on the side because it's not quite wide enough to fit there. But this is actually the closest it's ever been to actually being on the car. And I gotta say, the more I see this lip, because at first I really wasn't sold on this whole center section because it kind of dips in and it's just very different from the Votex one. But the more I look at this lip, it's definitely great. Sawzall is probably not the most precise tool to do this with, but it actually worked out pretty well. And for the first time, the Zender rear lip is completely on the car, minus the sides because I have to put a screw to actually hold that in. But overall fitment, really, really nice. And the side of this one is a bit shallower than the Votex one, but still very, very cool lip. Now, coming over to the Remus. Now you can see, ignore this, I had to go through and still sand some, but I ended up having to cut almost an inch more on this side and then actually follow the original line that they provided for the cut of the exhaust. It's still touching slightly on this side, but I can loosen the bracket and move the exhaust more to this side still. And currently the exhaust is on the lowest setting for the Votex lip, but I can move the entire thing up. So it should sit this way and like right there, which looks pretty good. So after I go through, sand it, clean it up, I think we got a winner. And then same on this side, gotta put the screws in to actually hold it like so. But like I said, overall fitment, really nice. And then once I adjust this and have the exhaust sitting up there, not too shabby. And of course, once it actually paint matches the car and not gonna stick out like that, not bad. I don't know still if I like it more than the Votex one, but like I said, it's very, very cool to have the full Votex kit in the car. I can swap back and forth whenever I want, and the Votex one that's up there actually matches the Zender stuff pretty well. So either this one or the Votex one, doesn't really matter. But for when we initially bring this car out for EuroTripper and I have all the Zender pieces on, I want to have the rear lip as well, and we'll have the little Zender logo right there, which will be super cool. So there's that. I'm gonna go through, sand, clean this up. I think we're good. I like that. Just any rear lip on a wagon looks so cool. It's growing on me. Like I said, this center section I just wasn't the biggest fan of, but the more I look at it, and now that we have the exhaust cut out, it's really growing on me. What do you guys think? Votex or Zender? Both are super cool. Both are very, very hard to find and very rare. But which one do you like more? It's still kind of hard to tell with this one not being painted, but I like it. Now I know for a fact, after the last clip, a bunch of you were freaking out thinking the lip looks super jagged, it's all messed up, but trust the process. Nothing a little sanding can't fix. So there's our cutout. Look at that, good to go. And at this point, the lip is ready. All it needs is paint, a sticker, and that is it. So there's our cutout, everything good to go. Now, I'm not gonna go through and adjust the exhaust just yet. I'm still running the Votex one until this is painted, but once this is painted and actually go on the car, then we can go through, shift the exhaust to the right a little bit, and change the actual bracket, which is right here. I can raise it up 1, 2 more holes, and that'll have the exhaust tips fitted perfectly to this lip. And I think it's gonna be looking pretty good. I keep saying it, but the more I look at this lip, the more I like it. And I originally just bought this lip to have the full kit to be cool, but genuinely, the more I look at it, it's actually really growing on me. I'm quite the fan. Even with the exhaust not being shifted to the right and lifted up, it still fits the cutout very nicely. Like the overall look, I like it. And the center part's is so different, but again, I like it. Overall, I like it. And I think once the entire kit's in the car, whew, it's gonna look good. It's gonna look so good. Like I said, the front bumpers and bodywork now should be done pretty soon. Then the rest of the pieces can go to paint, and then this thing's gonna look spicy. Again, it's gonna be Zender front bumper, Zender skirts, Zender rear lip, hatch spoiler, Euro hatch for the car, and the whole new driver's side fender because mine's rusted. But it's gonna be like a whole new car when it's done. And then for anyone who hasn't seen, this here is our hatch spoiler, which if it looks familiar, this is the same one I ran on my silver bore wagon in Germany, and now it shall live on the wagon like so. So that get painted as well. And also, totally forgot, I have that's unsafe. To the ground. I have 2 stubby mirrors. So I don't know if I want to run these or not compared to these ones, which currently have, this is, I want to say it's there's 3 sizes for the Mark IV. The 175mm ones, which is the largest ones, the 155, and then these are the 135 or 25, but these are the stubby ones. So I have these ones if I want to run them. This one's actually Black Magic Pearl. I think one is actually uni black, but I have the passenger side and I also have the driver's side if I so choose to toss on the stubby mirrors versus the larger ones. I'm telling you guys, that rear lip is just, it's good. It's really, really good. I went back and forth for so long debating just keep the Votex one or use this one. And I was gonna leave this one alone and not use it at all, but I'm so glad we cut it. I'm glad we're gonna paint it. Yeah, it's good. So with that, gonna end this video here. Hope you guys have a fantastic New Year's. Be safe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do not forget, be thankful for every single day. See you guys next time. Peace.